You would never guess how much gil some of Final Fantasy XIV's richest players spend. Like this mount that sold for almost 95 million gil, or this bad boy that sold for 50 million gil, or the most expensive plot in the game for 52 million. Hello everyone, Ekchen here. I've heard time and time again how gil is useless in the game and how making more gil is stupid. But I'm willing to bet none of those naysayers have anything I'll be showing you today. There are lots of glamorous things to strive for in the game, and in today's video, I'll show you just how ridiculously expensive some stuff is to get. It will blow your mind how fast your gil can disappear. Let's go ahead and get started. By far, the most expensive category I will cover is mounts. Mounts add a fun way to travel throughout the world and are a great way of showing off your achievements, or how deep your pockets are. There are over 200 mounts in the game and a lot of them are available through the market board. A small disclaimer here. I'll be showing you my server prices, so these can of course vary from server to server. Also, I will be focusing on the last actual purchase price, not the listing price, so we aren't looking at magical numbers, but what was actually paid. First up, the Tayada Whistle. This is the Sugar Glider mount. The mount looks very awesome and takes some work to get. If you want to get this mount, you're going to have to farm up 500 Terali bicolor gemstone vouchers, or cough up 74 million gil. That's a good chunk of change. I myself am probably going to end up farming the bicolors while leveling alt jobs. Next up, the Wyver Horn. This mount sold for just under 95 million gil, and your only alternative is to farm up 500 bicolor gemstone vouchers. This is a case where you need to have rank 3 in all Endwalker zones to obtain these vouchers. If you don't have this next one, you didn't spend enough time in Bosja. The Deinonychus Horn is a rare drop from Dolaradia in Zadnor. It recently sold for 25 million gil. Considering it's older content now and less people are running it, this mount has actually appreciated in value recently. That's a pretty penny for an ugly dino. Next up, recently sold for around 26 million as a new Ronique Horn. This mount is obtained by exchanging 100 Ronique Horn tokens. You can obtain one token by exchanging 1,000 orange gathering scripts, so it'll cost you 100,000 orange gathering scripts, or the current market price is floating around 18 million gil. I did want to go ahead and cover gold mounts as well. The Gilded Mikoshi mount is obtained for 50 million gil. The gold series mounts have a truly unique look to them as they are all gold, and gold coins are flying out of them as well. To obtain, speak to Edelina, the luxury trader, and she can be found at the bottom floor of Arena's House of Splendors in Mordona at 22/4. This brings me to the next mount, who is also sold by Eldina, and that is the Magitech Avenger G1 mount. Players spend 50 million gil for this bad boy, and I would say it's probably one of my favorites. Also similar to the Magitech Avenger A1 mount, but this one has a gold color, and again, there are gold coins everywhere. Currently, there is only one more gold mount sold with a 50 million gil price tag, and that is the Chrysomalos mount. It's probably my least favorite of the 4 gold mounts, but it's still unique and there is gold flying everywhere. If you got an extra 50 million gil laying around, you can pick this one up from Eldina as well. And now the last of the gold mounts. The Resplendent Vessel of Ronka is sold in Ylmor. Like all gold mounts, there's gold spilling all over the place, and at half the price. This mount will run you a mere 25 million, duty-free. And the last mount I'll cover that is a direct purchase, duty-free from the game, is the Air Wheeler A9 mount. This can be purchased from Neon, the Air Wheeler dealer at Solution 9. It's a beautiful mount and it'll run you a mere 7.5 million gil. There are plenty more mounts that sell for a high price tag that I didn't mention, but by all means, feel free to mention any ones I missed in the comment section below. Let's shift gears here and talk about another type of insanely expensive purchases, housing. I'm not talking about the cottages, but if you want a house or a mansion, they go anywhere from 16 million all the way up to 52.5 million, which happens to be the cost of the FC house I own. Plot 5 or 35 in the Mist is the most expensive and perhaps the most sought after piece of land in the game. If 52 million sounds like a lot, take a deep breath because if you want to flat out purchase the FC with this mansion attached, it'll cost you no less than 2 billion gil. And that's assuming you can actually find one for sale. The second big expense that Final Fantasy XIV's richest players take on regarding housing is professional decorators. You can commission a professional decorator to do your home, and some of them do amazing work. I've paid as low as 10 million gil all the way up to 100 million gil for the mansion to be decorated. You typically get what you pay for, and I do recommend looking through several portfolios before settling down on a professional decorator. And the last category I want to cover today is items. First up is the Fallen Angel Wings. These are obtained the exact same way as the Wyver Horn, so 500 bicolor gemstone vouchers. This thing has almost sold for 80 million gil. Next up is the Golden Beaver. This minion is obtained from the Shifting Obulettes in Lygia. It's hard to obtain because of the portal system that the treasure maps use. But don't worry, it's only sold for 80 million gil recently, so there's always that route. Next up is the Starlight Barding. This was a limited time barding, and I don't think it's been back ever since its original appearance. And it sold anywhere from 4,000 gil all the way up to 50 million gil. So it's a sad story for some of the sellers here, and a glorious day for others. Another barding, and for the same limited time offer reasons, is the Paramore Barding. It was a Valentine's event item and it hasn't made a return. boosting its price tag up to 77 million gil in recent history. And for the final item I want to show you guys, the Cassie earring. This is obtained in Eureka with a very low drop rate from Copycat Cassie. Or if you want to do it like the rich, just buy it from the market board for around 19.5 million gil. That about wraps up my list of the most expensive items that the uber rich spend their gil on. I hope you guys found this video interesting, and I hope it inspires some of you to pursue some of these items.